the battery wasn't holding charge, so I took it to the auto zone. They charged it and they told me the battery is good. Now I put it back in the car, and after I tried it, it had 12.6 volts, which means it's good. Now I let the car run for a couple minutes, and now I'm retesting with the multimeter, and as you guys see here, it says 9 volts. Gonna show you guys again, positive to positive, negative to negative, and it's gonna show you now you got 10 volts, but it's dropping. So that means the alternator is not charging the battery, and the battery is draining again. So that tells me it's a bad alternator. Okay, so the alternator is bad. I already checked it. I took the battery out and I have it charging just to get it fully charged. And first we're gonna take the belt off, and then it's gonna have 2 bolts, one 12 and a 14 millimeter in the bottom. We're gonna disconnect the electrical right here, and then inside this booth right here, you guys have to take it out. Right here there's gonna be another 10 millimeter that is the hot wire. You disconnect that, take this out, put the new one, and we should be all good. Okay, now we're gonna use this to get the serpentine belt off. Gonna see if you guys see right here, but right here, you see right there, that bolt, that's the tensioner. We're gonna just move it a little bit, and that's gonna release the pressure so we can take this off. You could use a 14 millimeter with an extended ratchet, or I bought this at Harbor Freight, so just to make my life easier. Okay, so using a 14 millimeter bolt in this extended bar, I'm gonna release the tension on the serpentine belt, and I'm gonna take either this or this one off the pulley, just to have to be able to get the alternator, because the alternator has like a wheelie right here. So I'm gonna just take this off so I don't have to take the whole serpentine off. There we go. There we go. Release it slowly. That's it. Take it off. As you see, now when I remove the alternator, the serpentine belt is not going to be on our way. Okay, I couldn't find an extension for the 14 millimeter because it's very tight in there, so I'm gonna have to use this little one and use this to help me get it loose. There we go. Got it loose. Perfect. You see? There we go. Now I can remove it by hand. But I'm not gonna take it all the way out, not yet. Now I'm gonna grab the 12 and get the top one loose. It's right here. Same thing. Now I could remove it by hand. Everything's good. Now I'm gonna remove this electrical part right here. I don't know if you guys see it. This, I'm gonna remove this. You just have to press it very hard and pull it. So I might use like some pliers to get it out. Here, I had to use this just to put a little bit of pressure on the side and then keep pulling to take it out. That's how I got it out. So now this is off. Now there's a clip right here. You guys see it, this plastic thing, you could break it, and then we use zip ties to put it back on. But I'm gonna try to press on this right here and try try to see if I don't have to damage it, but you could break it and then just use zip ties when you're done. There we go. Look, I don't have to break it. I just press these two things with the needle pliers like this and push it out, so it came out. There we go. You guys see? Now I have to remove the 10 bolt right here, but I'm gonna do it when I remove the top bolt. Now let's remove this by hand. Let's keep removing this by hand. There we go. Put it over here. We're gonna lose it. Gonna use this pry bar to kind of tilt it this way a little bit. There we go, just a little bit. Guys, see right here? I put this just so I could have access to this rubber boot, and I could just take it out. And there's gonna be a 10. Let me show you guys. There's gonna be a 10 millimeter nut right here that we're gonna remove. That's the hard wire for the alternator. Okay. Sorry guys for the angle. Just it's very tough by yourself, you know. Let me see. There we go. Let me see. That's a little bit better. This is a 10 mil. It shouldn't be too tight because it's just snug in there. So it's loose already. Take it out by hand now. Make sure you don't lose. We cannot lose that little thing. Look right here. This we cannot lose. Put it over here. You guys see? Now we put the hard wire for this. Put it to the side. Now we just got the bottom bolt. And remember, after that, nothing is holding it, so we gotta be careful not to drop it. I'm gonna put this. Now see if I can remove this. You just put this, put it to the side, so have a little bit more room. And now we go back here. Use my hand. It's gonna be a little bit tired now because, of course, weight is on top of it, so that's why it's a little bit tight. Now here we go. Just holding it right here. And then after that, it should be pretty easy to come out. Okay. Put this on the side. I'm removing it by hand now. There we go. The 410. And okay, get up a little bit. I'm gonna put this to the side so you guys can see the struggle. This over here. Let's see. Okay, you just gotta play with that until it come out. There we go. That was pretty simple. Here we got it. Here's the this is the bad alternator. We just gotta go get a new one. When you get your new one, make sure it has this bracket right here. If it doesn't, remove this one and put it to the new one, because here's where the wire clip goes. Oh, remember, if you cut it, here's where you're gonna put the zip ties to hold it in place. Okay, since I'm going to the store to buy it and I'm not sure if they is gonna have this bracket, I'm just gonna remove it just to make sure. It's an 8mm. You just take it out, you know, just to be safe. So now put it over here, and I know for sure I'm not gonna miss that, because I'm gonna take this to the store and go get a new one. The new one only came with a new nut, so I was thankful I saved the bracket and just put it back. Remember, it's an 8mm, and just attach it back. Okay, now we're gonna put the new alternator back, and this time we're gonna start with the top bolt, the 12mm, so it holds it in place and it gives me the, you know, the leverage, so I could try to put the 14mm, which is the bottom bolt, because that one is a little tricky because you're not seeing it, so you just gotta like fish it, you know, you gotta feel for it until you find the hole, and then find the threads and start it by hand. Starting with the top bolt is gonna make your life a lot easier. Here I align the top hole, so I'm putting the 12mm bolt on top. You don't have to put it all the way in, it's just so it holds it in place, so we can put the bottom bolt, because later we're gonna remove the top bolt again, so we can kind of move the alternator to attach the hot wire. Okay, now I go with the bottom bolt, the 14mm, and this is why it's important to start with the top, because now you don't have to worry about the weight of the alternator. You just wiggle it around until you align the holes and start the bottom bolt by hand, as you guys see me doing here. Sorry guys, I forgot to hit record when I removed the top bolt. It was only tied by hand, but you just remove it and move the alternator towards you, so you could remove the 10mm nut and attach the hard wire, as you guys see me doing here. I'm removing it because it comes with a new one, so we don't have to use the old one. We're gonna remove the new one, the new nut, and we're gonna attach the hot wire and use this new nut because, you know, it's new. Why not, right? As you guys see me doing here, put it in there, start the nut by hand, and then with the ratchet we're gonna tie it. You just have to snug it up. You don't have to go crazy with it. You just gotta hold it in place. There we go, done. Then we started with the socket, and then just tying it up with the ratchet. And don't forget to put the rubber boot back on the thing. It has to cover it completely, because you don't want any, you know, oil or dust or nothing to fall into this hot wire. The rubber boot was giving me a little bit of work, so I used this clip removal tool or a screwdriver just to, you know, help me pry it out until I was able to put it in place. You guys see me doing here. Now it's in place and we're good. Now align the top again, as you guys see me doing here, and put the 12mm bolt back in place and start it by hand. Now you could put it all the way in. Also, don't forget the electrical plug. Just put it in all the way in, as you see me doing here. Now with your ratchet, get the two bolts tying up, the top bolt, which is the 12mm, and the bottom bolt, which is the 14mm. Now I'm checking the serpentine belt diagram to see if maybe the belt got, you know, got loose, or maybe it came off from some of the bearings. I'm checking it just to make sure everything is good, and if it's good, I just gotta reattach the serpentine belt to the wheel on the alternator. I'm gonna put the diagram here so you can screenshot it and you could check it too. And as we're doing this, guys, please do me a favor and make sure you subscribe, like, comment any questions you have or anything you wanna add to the video, and let's keep watching. Here I'm releasing the tension again on the tensioner and making sure to put the serpentine belt on the alternator, and checking always with the diagram. As you guys see there, I have it on that phone on top of the motor, and I'm just making sure everything is how it's supposed to be. I'd rather double check, triple check, just to be sure. And that should be it, guys. After this, just reconnect the battery and we should be good to go. Also, don't forget to put the reservoir back where it goes. It's just a little clip that you push it in. Pretty easy. As you guys see me doing there, just find it and push it in, and it holds in place just like that. Now let's put the battery back. Start with the positive first. If you see any corrosion, please make sure you clean it. Same thing with the negative. And remember I said I had this battery charging, but I have one of those Harbor Freight battery chargers that it takes hours to charge, so it didn't charge it completely. So I'm gonna have to jump start the battery to get it going. Here it is after I jump start the car. Now I'm gonna put my multimeter so you guys gonna see the difference with a good alternator. Now I'm putting the positive here, and you guys gonna see 14.4. That's perfect. We have a good alternator.